Thank you for joining us on Business Now. Hi, I'm Frank Komalape. We'll begin from the Federal Capital Territory, where President Bola Tinubu has assured that his administration will be representative and attend to the issues material to the people. In his inaugural speech on Monday, President Tinubu said he will consult and dialogue with Nigerians going forward.
The message for our investors, local and foreign. Our government shall review all the complaints about multiple taxation. And review various anti-investment inhibitions. We shall ensure that investors and foreign businesses repatriate their hard-earned dividend and profits home. My administration must create meaningful opportunities for our youth. We shall honor our campaign commitment of 1 million jobs and the digital.
And in the meantime, as Nigeria usher in a new dispensation with a new president, iBrandTV correspondent Tony Ochela in these commentary takes us down memory lane.
Guided by the 1999 Constitution of Nigeria, inaugurates a new democratic government every 4 years after a dutifully conducted election, and in that light, the country will be inaugurating another one today, May 29th, 2023. The government of President Muhammadu Buhari will be handing over to President-elect and soon-to-be President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who won a tightly contested election in February. A similar inauguration ceremony will be taking place with governors being sworn in simultaneously in 28 out of the 36 states across the federation. There are 8 other states where no such ceremony would take place because elections did not hold in such states, as they still have sitting governors because court judgments change their tenure times. Nigeria's democracy has held strong since 1999 with the commencement of the present democratic dispensation with the government of President Olusegun Obasanjo, who had a 2-term tenure of 8 years, just like departing President Muhammadu Buhari. In between, the country has experienced the leadership of Umaru Yar'Adua, which was brief but eventful, and that of President Goodluck Jonathan. The story of today's events cannot be appreciated if one does not take a look at the broader picture of Nigeria's democratic journey, from where it started and what it took to get here. In 1960, when Nigeria sought and got independence from its colonial administrators, Nigeria adopted the former British parliamentary system of government with a parliament of elected legislators and a prime minister superintending government. Nnamdi Azikiwe became Governor General on 16th November 1960 with Abubakar Tafawa Balewa as prime minister, and when Nigeria became a republic in 1963, Azikiwe became president. Party politics became heated and allegations of corruption were rife, instigating what the military took as an excuse to overthrow democratic leadership and institute military autocracy with Major General Johnson Agui Ironsi as head of state. Matters got worse when a section of the military elite felt something was fishy with the first coup and sought to set it right with a counter-coup, and then Lieutenant Colonel Gowon became head of state. Gowon, while on a foreign visit, was shoved out by his military colleagues, and Murtala Mohammed replaced him, albeit briefly. After Mohammed lost his life in a bizarre coup attempt, his successor, Olusegun Obasanjo, was instrumental to what can be classed as Nigeria's first presidential election, which saw Alhaji Shehu Shagari become president on 1st October 1979 with a bicameral legislature. The military was not done with Nigeria yet, and Shagari was overthrown, and the country again witnessed a succession of military leaders in the persons of Muhammadu Buhari, Ibrahim Babangida, Sani Abacha, and Abdusalami Abubakar. There was a brief interregnum when Chief Ernest Shonekon was assigned interim head of state between August 26th and November 17th, 1993, when then military President Ibrahim Babangida craftily annulled what was adjudged by many presidential election ever held in the country, which saw MKO Abiola emerged an undeclared winner. General Sani Abacha, who felt Babangida ought to have handed power over to him, shoved Shonekon aside, but later died in office, and his successor, General Abubakar, had the presence of mind to restore Nigeria back to democracy in 1999. With the inauguration of Bola Tinubu, Nigerians could rest assured that the nascent usually attached to Nigeria's democracy would become matured. Guided.
And as President Bola Tinubu takes oath of office today, several issues will be on his table, but top of these issues are the economy and security. To help us get a grasp on this and attendant issues, we have Barrister Jide Olugu joining us to take a look at this. Now, thank you for joining us, Barrister. We appreciate your time.
Thank you
for coming on Business Now.
It's my pleasure.
And happy inauguration, I must say to you, or a new dispensation in Nigeria's political history.
And I respond by saying Happy New Year.
Okay.
It's a new season, really.
Yes. So talk to us about these. What is the major high point of the president's speech, the opening speech after the inauguration?
You know, the president acknowledged the fact that it's been a very tough journey for him, and that what happens today is not about him, but about connecting what Nigeria has gone through in the past with a renewed hope for a brighter future that Nigeria deserves to occupy in the polity of nations. And I think that is sacrosanct. And of course, he did not shy away from acknowledging the realities we have now, talking about the poverty in the land, talking about the insecurity, talking about attending to this issue of subsidy, fuel subsidy in the nation, because according to him, what that has done is to position the rich as against the poor, and that his own government will ensure that what is saved from subsidy is invested in infrastructure. He also spoke about inclusion of women and the youth, creating jobs, investing in agriculture, and he emphasized the need for security in the land, and he intends with his team to restructure not just the architecture, the security architecture, but also the mindset of security in the country. And he's also passionate about bringing the nation together, that the South should realize that there is no South without the North, and the North also should embrace the South. And on that note, I particularly placed my attention on the fact that Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda, was in attendance, and he achieved that in Rwanda. He banished the issue of ethnicity, and where you have a level of national integration, then it may be faster to achieve the economic objectives of a resourceful leadership. But in the absence of that, the agitations will continue, and that all this will serve as distraction for the government. And now that he's there, Nigerians are waiting for performance beyond rhetorics, because some are still in the school of thought that we've heard this over and over again. When do we begin to experience it? And we hope that he will not disappoint Nigerians in this area.
Yes, quite a lot of assurances from, the president there, but with all of these assurances that we have from the president, especially in his opening speech, is it time to shout to hurrah and go home to sleep knowing that all will be well, having given us these assurances?
It won't be wise to just hold on to assurances alone. You talk about returns on investment. So when you invest, you monitor your investment and you benchmark your expectations with performance. So some of us, we engage in wishing this government the best and monitoring the activities to ensure that this government walks the talks. It's not just about the wonderful promises that we have, but something that is instructive is for the president himself to realize that he's been sworn into office today for the first time of 4 years, and possibly second time of another 4 years, being 8 years. That President Muhammad Buhari, former president of Nigeria, just completed 8 years, and history has documented how he handled those opportunities that came his way within the space of the 8 years. So it will be with the new president, Bola Ahmed Adekunle Tinubu. I'm sure you're not aware he's Adekunle.
Well, I'm not aware. This is, of course, just coming to me as news for the first time.
And that is what leaders should realize. You are there for a purpose.
Pardon me to come in here. I mean, like you said, he's achieved a lot at the state level, but there are quite a lot of people who are, very, very critical of whether he will perform at the national level. So it's a different ballgame at the national level. You also talk about the fact that he said he will bring Nigerians together. He's going to unite. He's going to address the issue of inflation. He talked about industrialization, the manufacturing sector, and all of that. So as easy as these things are, but how again easy do you think you'll be able to address all of these challenges? There are quite a lot of challenges waiting for him on his table to address.
As far as he is willing